2011, a film, an independent film, original, also little budget, became a smash.
Right.
How are you going to top this off this year?
Yeah, it's a good question. I know, we'll
Good
see.
question.
It's not that much of a bigger budget for a start.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
we kept the same formula, being a
Yeah,
very low
that was
budget, and so I think that keeps the creative control. You know, the less money, the less hands you
Yeah.
have in the room. So, you know, we kept the movie with James and Lee, you know, our director and writer, so that they could make the movie that they wanted. So, I think the good thing is you have a built-in audience. You had a successful first movie. We all come back for the second movie, and we're not trying to make the same movie again. First of all, we can't be. We've already seen everything. Like, we've already dealt with the haunted house. We've already dealt with a child being possessed, so we can't do those same things. So the movie just goes forward, you know. So from that perspective, it minimizes your this feeling of, oh, we have to top the first one. I don't think anybody feels like we have to top the first one.
Yeah,
because we're continuing it.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm not a fan of horror film. I have to say, I get scared. Yesterday I was worried about the film, but then I sat down, and this is more of a thriller than a horror, and I love that. I think it's great. I mean, that's the part to come. I mean, you see some scary things, but you sit down and you actually create the pathos of the film. How was acting in this film different from the previous one for both of you?
Well, Patrick had a lot, obviously, of changes.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, we hit the ground running in this. Like in the first one, there's a bit of, you know, there's the first sort of third of the film is fairly, you know, normal. Like it's like there's just a family looking at a portrait of a family moving into a new home, and this is like hitting the ground running. So the performances were up high from the start and then go higher. But Patrick had
you have a whole new
different
character to play.
Yeah.
Right, which was fun. I mean, you know, you're always happy when you can have some meat to chew on, if I can use that phrase.
Literally.
Yeah. Although they cut that scene where I chewed on meat. Yeah. So I mean that's part of the fun, is being able to sort of, you know, have fun with the role, you know. So again, when you pick up with the characters, you have to, you know, and they go a lot further in this film, which is exciting. That's the exciting part, you know. But you already have the built-in circumstances for where they've come from, and I think unless, you know, I think where you get into trouble with horror movies or sequels where you're trying to match the first one, it's maybe you have the magic doesn't work again, or it's a different family or something. But we don't have that sort of pressure because we're continuing the movie on. So it's just like, yeah, we're just telling another story, you know.
Rose, without giving away the film, we can say this is taking trust in your husband to a new, different level.
That's right.
I know, poor Renee. James Wan and I, all of us talked about that a lot in terms of Renee's, the character really denying anything's wrong, and what a powerful emotion that is, you know, to live in a state of denial, which she sort of essentially is doing for the first kind of half of the movie, really.
When did you see back the first Insidious? How was your reaction?
I was terrified. I screamed. I went with a friend and I screamed from start to finish, and he's like, "Why are you screaming? You're in the movie. You know what's going to happen." And I was like, on the edge of my seat. I'm a good audience, though, as I've liked to say.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the first one. I love the fact that they take a convention, you know, even something like, you know, nobody in a haunted house movie ever moves, and everybody says, "Why don't you move?" So James said, "Okay, then we'll move." So we switch houses. That, you know, they like to take a convention and turn it around, you know. And I think the first one was, and the strange comedy nature of you know, Specs and Tucker in the first one. I like all that. I think they're very, you know, they're not. They're writing their own book. They're sort of moving the genre forward, which I think is we feel very fortunate to be part of.
Thank you very much for your